Hello, how are everybody doing today? My name is Chris Simuro. I'm the CEO and president of BoMax. This is Dr. Debbie Maxwell, who is the inventor of this brand new technology we're going to share with you today. All right, so to start this presentation, all of us know that about 95% of the world's hydrogen comes from steam methane reformation. We know that this is a very inefficient way to make energy and has a big carbon footprint. The remaining 5% of hydrogen approximately comes from electrolysis, right? This is a technology that's been around for hundreds of years. And although it's better than SMR, it's really not the ideal green tech solution for hydrogen production. But what if I was to tell you that at BoMax, we have invented and patented a brand new way to make hydrogen simply using light. In electrolysis, you need to use light to create electricity. In our technology, light actually generates the hydrogen. Okay? Dr. Maxwell discovered how hydrogen, in essence, is made naturally every day outside. That there's an enzyme, a common soil bacteria, that when water and light hit it, will release hydrogen. Our technology mimics what nature does. Okay? So, just to give you a better idea of how the technology works, so we have our enzymes, we have a chaperone protein, we put nanoparticles in a water solution, we put it in front of light, and the light actually excites an electron on the face of the nanoparticle, which creates a kickoff of a catalytic reaction. Think of it like a series of gears. And what is produced is pure green hydrogen. Okay? Right? Now, what if I could also tell you that our technology has these other advantages versus the competing technologies? Our technology uses visible light, so that can work with a halogen, LED, or sunlight, right? Our technology will make hydrogen on site at the point of use, right? So you will no longer have to worry about the logistics of how you get the hydrogen to your facility or that you have to build an infrastructure. Our unit will make the hydrogen on site. It does it at ambient temperature and pressure. It uses no rare earth minerals, and it's all made up of inexpensive components, right? Now, the other question I get a lot is scalability, right? So the next year, yes, we're going to come out to the market with a small scale production model, but there is no limit to the amount of hydrogen that can produce with our technology. So what if I also told you that earlier this year, we had independent third-party subject matter experts come into our lab, review how we make the hydrogen, reviewed all of the science, reviewed all the data with all the optimization work, and they issued us an absolutely clean, legitimate opinion about our technology. It was also very cool that in this process, they see no reason from a scientific perspective that our technology cannot scale from small level to massive levels. Okay? What if I also told you that for the last several years, we have been at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, United States, and we have achieved the following results in optimization. When we first started, the reaction would last for about 5 days. We've been able to extend a single reaction of the hydrogen producing solution for 75 days. From the very beginning, we've also been able to increase the yield or the production level of the hydrogen over 3,000x. And here recently, as we're starting to talk about scaling up into commercial activity, just in the last 90 days, attacking some low-hanging fruit, we've dropped the cost to produce 62% just in the last 92 days. Right? So what if I also could tell you that the market is wanting a green hydrogen solution at a market price, right? We see no limitations on our ability in the next year or two to get to $6 or less per kilogram. And in a few years after that, we see no problem getting down to 1 kilogram. Now, the way to read this table, on the far left column are different cost targets to produce the solution. The second from left column is the efficiency. How much hydrogen can we produce per day with our reaction? And just to give you a perspective, we're just shy of 120 kilograms today. So we're very close to hitting that first tier. Now, the remaining columns are just the duration of the reaction. So I highlighted in red just a way that we can read this together. If we achieve our first tier target of production, and we can produce 120 kilograms at efficiency rate, and we can go 90 days, we can produce green hydrogen just using light, no electricity, for $28 a kilogram. In the United States, that's what it costs if you go to a hydrogen gas station today, right? Now, let me give you a second hypothetical. If we hit target 2 in our world, we raise the efficiency to 200 kilograms, and we go out to 180 days, now we're down to $5.66 per kilogram, right? If we get to our tier 3 level, and we're able to increase the efficiency to 300 kilograms per day, and we go for a year, now we're underneath $1, okay? Important to note, none of these figures assume any subsidies, grants, tax credits, anything like that. This is truly what our cost to produce the hydrogen would be. Now, what if I could tell you that today we compare ourselves with electrolysis? Because today it's probably the greenest way to make commercial levels of hydrogen. In the electrolysis process, to go from sunlight to the forklift or the end use, you've got 6 steps. You've got your solar panel turned to electricity, goes into electrolysis, creates the gas, back to fuel cell, make electricity, and then we use it, okay? In our process, with our beta prototype, we will only have 4 steps. Sunlight will directly hit our panel, immediately make hydrogen gas. We're not trying to create electricity to run into an electrolyzer. We're simply going from light to gas. In essence, we're taking a 6-step process down to 4. Another way to look at this, we did some analysis. Today, that the most efficient solar panel PV electrolysis solution can make 1 square meter solar panel can make 38 liters of hydrogen per hour. In about 3 months, we're going to be at 50 liters per hour. And by the end of the year, we think we're going to be at 100 liters an hour. So we're going to have a 2x positive yield versus electrolysis. So then the other question people ask, well, what would be the size of your unit, right? So today, if you have a 1 square meter of a solar panel versus ours, it would take 40 solar panels to power enough electricity to go into electrolysis to make 1 kilogram of hydrogen. In 3 months or so, we will be down to 32 square meters. And by the end of the year, we're targeting 8 to 10 square meters. So our size of our physical footprint will be a 4 or 5x reduction compared to electrolysis. Now, there's one other important comparison. For electrolysis to work, it has to be a sunny day. In our technology, a cloudy day works just as good as a sunny day. So we have the ability to be a more consistent producer of hydrogen gas than electrolysis. Now, neither one of these will work in a thunderstorm, but on a cloudy day or sunny day, our technology works just the same. Okay? What if I also told you that here at the show, we've actually got the alpha prototype, right? It's actually at A43, if anybody wants to come look and see how it works. But we got to a certain point in our optimization last year that we decided it was time to show a prototype. Because I was talking to lots of folks like you, and they all kept saying, wow, this is the holy grail. This is too good to believe. Come see me when I can actually see the unit work. So what this is based on, this is a 2 foot by 2 foot by 3 foot rectangle. We're powering it with blue LED lights. It's portable enough that I can bring it into a boardroom, I can take it to a lab, I can take it to a customer, turn it on, hook it to a fuel cell, power like an electric train, fly a drone around, prove the technology. When we showed this to the US Department of Energy and we showed them a path to get under $1, we won the US Department of Energy Hydrogen Innovation Award last year. That was a game changer for us. It brought us a lot of credibility, but it also brought us a lot of attention. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But this is the alpha, and it's based on LED. We're now working on designing, fabricating, and testing what we call the beta. The beta will more closely resemble what a commercial unit will look like. All right? It will be a direct sunlight to gas platform, and the target is that it will be able to produce 1 kilogram of hydrogen per day. If that is successful, then we're talking about going to small commercial test pilots with some select partners in 2024. All right, so our goals, the reason why we come to the show and why I'm up here on the stage is to let people know that there is a brand new technology about to come to the world, right? So we are interested as we rapidly move towards a scale up of commercialization. We've been blessed with some amazing partners that we've been developing things with. But for us to truly scale, we need to develop partnerships, right? So we break them down into 3 categories. One is a technology partner, right? If we could take someone else's technology and our technology and 1 + 1 = 4, we obviously want to talk to folks there. We also are going to need project management and engineering help. Because this way to think about how this technology works, if you think of a photocopier, right? And it makes copies for 90 days, right? And the copy starts diminishing in quality. You don't replace the whole box, you just replace the toner, right? In our world, we will have the panels, the glass panels, and we will simply take the cartridge out when it's done, put the new cartridge in, right? So from a business model perspective, we don't want to make the photocopy machine. We just want to make the toner. We just want to make the solution, and we want to find partners in the world that can go to market with our technology. If that makes sense. end users and distributions. That's the same thing I'm just talking about. We need to find business partners that are going to help us scale up and go global with this. We're very fortunate. We've already developed some of these relationships with some large organizations in Japan, but we absolutely are looking for some partners here in Europe as well, and Africa. All right? All right, so the last thing I was going to tell you is that, hey, we need money, right? We're well funded. We're not in any position here, but in this summer, we are going to be going through another capital raise, right? That is going to support the small scale up. And we're talking about a 10x scale up from this summer to next summer. And if all goes well, then we're talking about a much larger capital partner that we would need. So, all right, so I know I've hit you with a ton of information in a very short period of time. We're gonna take questions, but if we don't get to your question, please feel free to grab me or Dr. Maxwell, and we are at booth A43 if you wanna see the actual prototype in action. So, any questions? Yes, gentleman here.
Thank you very much, Fernando with John Deere. The question I had is, assuming hydrogen is come from water, what else is produced?
So that's a good point. So when I say we've been able to extend the reaction 75 days, it's because it's run out of electrons, right? We are not water intensive, right? We do need deoxygenated water, and we do need a little bit of water occasionally to have a proton source. But our biggest challenge is making sure we've got enough electrons to keep the reaction. So what happens is our technology will run, and it will stop working. We put more electrons in, it comes back to life, right? We've been able to do this on and off for almost 120, 180 days, something like that. So we have a really unique project going on with a university in the United States. They developed a renewable source of feedstock of electrons. By putting a very small electrode in our solution, it could provide an endless amount of electrons. Honestly, we don't know how long the reaction could last. We've seen no degradation in the catalyst itself. So this technology could go a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We don't know. But we are not water intensive. So I get that question a lot at the booth, right? We have a small fraction of the amount of water that versus electrolysis. Any other questions? Oh, all right, good. Like I said, we're thankful for this opportunity to tell you about our technology. If you want to learn more, if you want to actually see the prototype, we're in booth A43. Thank you.